Welcome back to a new episode where we are going to style our login page. In the previous episodes, we checked how we could echo out database information in our PHP code. What our goal eventually is to check if the data from the database is equal to the input fields of the login form. So in order to do this, we actually need to create a login form. And before we do that, I want to separate my index.php because we will actually need the header and footer on our login and register form. So in our includes, let's create a new file and let's name it header.php. And let's create another one and let's call it footer.php. And let's put some stuff inside our header.php. First off, we want everything until our opening body tag. We also need our require once database because we need it on every single page. So let's remove it from our index page and let's paste it in our header. And let's do the same thing for our footer. We need our closing body tag and HTML tag. So let's copy it, paste it in our footer. And in between our body and HTML tag, let's create a footer opening and closing tag. So let's save it, close it. We don't need our header right now, so let's save it as well and close it. Let's focus on our index.php. Right now, we don't need our code right here. So let's remove it and let's require once. Inside our folder includes, and we want our header.php. Copy paste it and let's replace it with footer. In between our PHP tags, let's write home. Save it, refresh the browser, and you can see our home page. So in our projects folder, let's create a new file and let's call it style.css because we want to style some stuff. And let's open our header.php because below our title, we need to create a link. So let's type down link. The rel is equal to stylesheet. The type is equal to text//CSS. And the href is equal to style.css. And inside our header.php, let's create our navigation. So below our body tags, let's write down header, hit tab. Let's create a nav. So our navigation, we need an unordered list. And inside our unordered list, we need list items. And every list item has a link. So let's create a href. And a closing href tag. So the href of our first page is index.php. And in between our tags, let's write down home. Let me zoom out. Yes. So let's copy paste it 2 more times. Let's change the second one to login and the last one to register. And the links as well. So login, register. We don't have these right now, but we will create them in a second. So let's do the same thing for a footer real quick. So let's go to footer and in between our footer opening and closing tag, let's create a paragraph tag and let's say this is my footer of the login and register form. Save it, close it because we don't need it anymore. So right now we need to style everything and I won't be explaining what all the styling means. But I want to work with a good looking form. So let's go to our style sheet and let's style our HTML first. So let's say that the width is 100%, the height is also 100%, and the font family is equal to Helvetica, Arial, Sans Serif. Now we need to style our body. So the padding is 0 and the margin is 0 as well. Now we need to style our header. The height is equal to 60 pixels. The background color, right now it's white, but I want it to be less white. So F2, F2, F2. And it has a box shadow of 0, 0, 10 pixels. And the color is 0, 0, 0. So save it, refresh it, and let me zoom out a little bit. This looks a little bit better. So let's continue on. Now we need to style our unordered list, which we want to float to the right. The position is relative, and we want it to be 10% from the right. Save it, refresh it, and this is what we want. Well, not yet though. So right now we want to style our list items. So we want the elements to be inlined, and we want the list style to be none. This looks better. So we also need to style the links because right now they are blue and I don't like that. So let's say that the text decoration is none, the color is black, the font size is 18 pixels, and the padding is 0 top, 0 right, 0 bottom, and 20 pixels to the left. Save it, refresh it, and this looks way better. We also need to style our footer real quick because, well, it's right now at the top of our screen, but we want it to be at the bottom. So footer, and the position needs to be absolute, otherwise it can't be at the bottom. So the bottom is 0%, the width is 100%, the height is 60 as well, pixels. The background color is F2, F2, F2. The box shadow is also the same, 0, 0, 10 pixels, black. And the text align needs to be in the center, and the margin is 0 auto, otherwise the text align won't work. Save it, and this is what I actually want. Well, let's style the paragraph as well, and let's say text transform uppercase. Alright. Now that we have styled our header and footer, we need to create our login page. So let's close off style.css. Inside projects, let's create a new file and let's name it login.php. So we actually can copy our index, and let's paste it right here. And instead of home, let's create h1 tags and say login. Let's create a paragraph tag and let's say no account. Let's create a link and say register.php. And the text needs to be register here. And we need to close our href. Save it. Well, let's go to login.php. Alright. Now we need to create a form. And we will keep the action empty right now because we will fill it in whenever we are at the point that we want to create our backend code. The method is equal to post. And we need two input fields. The first one is type is equal to text. The name is username. And the placeholder is equal to username. Let's copy it and paste it. And the second one, the type is equal to password. The name is equal to password as well. And the placeholder is password with capital P. We need to create a button because it needs to be submitted. And the type is equal to submit. And in between our button text, let's write down login. Save it, refresh it, and we need to style it. This isn't that much, so let's open our style.css. I even said that we don't need it. Excuse me. So let's style the h1. And let's say text transform uppercase. Font size is 48 pixels. Now we need to style our paragraph link. So the register here. Let's say color 666. We actually forgot to put it inside div tags. Excuse me. Alright. Because we want to style it. Well, we want to text align it in the center. So the width is 100%, margin is 0 auto, and text align is in the center. This looks better. Now we need to style our input field, and the display is block, because we want them to be beneath each other. The margin is 20 pixels auto, text align center, box shadow 0, 0, 10 pixels, 666. The width is 240 pixels. The height is 30 pixels. And the background color is F2, F2, F2. Now we need to style the button, and then we're done styling. The width is 240, height is 60, background color is black, so 0000, and the color is FFFFFF. Save it, refresh it, and this is what we're looking for. So what we need to do next is to create our register form. So let's save it and close it. Well, let's copy our login. Let's close it. Let's create a new file in project, and let's name it register.php. Paste it in here. Let's replace login to register. And let's change no account to already have an account. Login. And let's change the link to login. And let's copy the input because we need to have a confirm. Well, the name needs to be confirm password. Register needs to be in between the button tags. And well, let's change login in our URL to register. And let's change the placeholder as well to confirm password. Yes, this is what we want. So now that we have created our markup, we can focus on the functionality of the form. So thank you for watching this episode, and I will be seeing you in the next one.